care if you've been clowning Great Value Superman all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Affinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista. Smoke me out, fam, with all that dang shit on my left. Oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
What?
Okay. All right.
I can't hear Prodigy.
Oh,
You
you
cannot
can't?
hear me?
Nope.
You just
Not at all?
that's.
Well, all right. Let's.
Can
Should
you
we
hear
keep
us?
going?
Oh, Ninja.
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear you and Blue.
Can't hear me?
Yeah, you're the loudest, Blue. You're
The
louder than
hell?
everybody. You're louder than Cronus.
Huh. Okay. Maybe that's something we gotta. I'll figure out. Okay. Anyway, keep it rolling.
All right. Engineering on the ones and twos. Choke people out on threes, goes Chronos.
Yeah. This is a new live stream setup, so hope this doesn't have too many issues.
All right. We'll fix it in post. Last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
The word for computer has officially been changed to computa punta. Thank you, Sama Hayek.
I'm quite confused.
Yeah, I got it. I got that
Yeah,
one.
it's a Black Mirror reference.
Oh, okay. That's why.
You usually have some statistical analysis. What we starting with?
That I do. First in the chat will be Papa Bear. What's going on? Good to see you, fam. And also, boy Steve. I got to get back to both of them. And listener of the week would be Sogo June. Thank you very much for listening. We definitely appreciate it.
I don't know why that sounds like a K-pop band member. You
I
know,
mean, it could be.
could be.
I've
Old
been
Ninja
listening to a
can't.
lot of Blackpink lately. I'm just saying because I had my daughter listen to them, and I was like, you know, I'm pretty sure Prodigy's daughter likes this band. She was
It's
like,
a good
what?
band.
And she was like instantly into it.
Yeah, it's a good
Did you
band.
say Blackpink?
Yeah,
Yep,
Blackpink,
Blackpink.
K-pop band.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is a couple
oh.
other stuff.
Oh, Blackpink was. They were in Oakland. 2 weeks ago.
So Blackpink
Nice.
is in
Oh
the
no,
area?
not them. Not them. It was the number 2 band. I'm sorry, because people were comparing Blackpink to them.
Actually, you sound really low too on my end.
Do I?
It's kind of weird.
You guys all sound fine to me.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if
Chronos
Old
is the
Ninja.
only one I can't hear.
Okay, Old Ninja can't hear me, so tell him to pour out something frothy and brown.
Pour out something frothy and brown there, old ninja.
No, not this week.
Not this week.
Oh, I guess we'll pour out something for our old live stream because we got that new hot. Maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. to the. Or did we already talk about the submarine guys? We've been capping on them for a
I mean,
while
they're
now.
definitely dead now. We know that.
Yeah, I guess last week we were thinking that they were going to die that night or later on in the morning. So yeah, it happened.
All right.
Well, I got some details on like exactly what happened to them. Like scientifically, what would have happened? Basically, they would have felt no pain. So that's good, right?
I guess being liquefied alive.
Yeah,
painless?
worse than that actually. So they would have been in like 10 milliseconds. They would have been dead, like from like the catastrophic failure to like death, and that's not enough time for your brain to register pain or sight or really probably even hearing. So yeah, they died instantly. And when it had catastrophic failure and it imploded, basically the inside of that submarine in quotes, it got pretty hot and exploded. Like it imploded, then caught on fire, and then liquefied, and then caught on fire. Everything else inside turned into ashes and gel, and then everything that was inside went to the outside, and all that gelatinous material is now part of the ocean, the circle of life. So there will be no recovering of those bodies because they really don't exist.
It's crazy. There's a YouTube channel called Pressure. It's hydraulic pressure, and they didn't do this for the submarine thing. They did this like 7 years ago. But they put a light bulb inside of a pressure chamber, like a water pressure chamber, and they basically compress the water to simulate the pressure of the ocean deep, and you could. Just watching this light bulb like implode is like so satisfying, but it really gives you an idea of what happened to that submarine because it was like it just collapsed onto itself and it pops out, but then it pops back to itself. It kept like going back and forth. It's pretty cool to check out.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, they were
Cool,
fucked,
very
but they didn't feel pain. So
Is what it is. All
Are
right.
we live on YouTube?
yes, we're
Yeah,
live
we
on
are.
YouTube.
Okay. I don't
Can
have
everybody in
it.
the chat hear us all?
They can, but they say that Prodigy sounds like garbage, but it's probably because he's using his cell phone. So
Probably.
yeah,
Oh, they can't. I'm sorry, they can't hear me. My sound is shit.
yeah, they say your sound is shit, but you sound okay to me. But apparently to them, you sound bad.
I
I
can't
mean, you don't
hear
sound great,
him.
obviously, but you know.
I cannot hear him at all.
Oh, and you're low, so I don't know why you can't hear him. Maybe it's something with.
Well, I moved my mic away, so.
Oh, okay, hold on.
But I can't. Oh, that's weird because I'm looking at the live stream now. He looks upright, but in our new stream, he looks sideways.
The fuck?
He's not
All
sideways
right.
on the stream. That's weird because I'm
For
watching
me,
it.
he is.
Live. Anyway, yeah, I'm watching it on it. So.
Well, let's get into it. We got a whole bunch of shit.
On my screen, he is sideways, but on the
Oh,
YouTube, he's straight up and down. It's hilarious. Hilarious.
that is weird. Okay. Well,
Oh.
Well, let's get into it. What we want to start with first, gentlemen?
actually, can I start with something?
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
because I forgot to talk about this for like the past like probably 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So if you see next to me, there's a big box. It
Oh,
says 4 on it, and this is the Diablo 4 box set. And let me just give you like an example of like how much bigger it is. Give me 1 second, okay?
I thought he was going to talk about Extraordinary.
All right, so what I'm holding up is like this is the normal size box set of Blizzard things from like I guess yesteryear. It's pretty big. This is the StarCraft, the one StarCraft 2, the Protoss one, and this is the Diablo 4 box
Well,
set.
you got all excited.
So
thinking
it's
he's gonna
quite-
talk about Extraordinary.
Yeah, it's quite large. It's pretty heavy, and the inside is pretty. Let me see if I can open this thing. It's just gonna fall out, but yeah, there's like a bunch of artwork and shit. I'll pull out some of it so you guys can see. One of the cool things, shit, some of them fell out, but it came with like the blood petals are inside of it, which if you play the game, you'll know what that's from. Let's see. So these are like some of the art pieces that came with it. They're like art from the game, which is pretty cool. And then let's see, it has, pull it out, the artwork for Diablo 4, which is fucking thick. It's like a big ass book. So, and it's just like full of artwork and just like from like all the characters and stuff. It's pretty dope.
Nice.
Further on the inside, if I can get this shit out of here. Hold on a second. I don't want to like destroy this thing. Can I pull it out? Came with a pin for the Herodrum, which is cool. Oh, and it came with, I didn't even see this last time. Has like a tapestry piece of like the map. And this is like a fabric.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like a piece of fabric, which is pretty dope.
That's cool.
I think it comes with a mouse pad. Diablo 4 mouse pad. Which is kind of cool, but I already got like a big ass mouse pad, so I don't really need this. That's just one side. One sec. Other side. Wait, where'd my fucking thing go? There's also a spot for me to put the actual game inside here, which is cool because I bought like it didn't come with a game, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, it did not come with a game. So on the other side I gotta be careful with because it has all these blood petals inside, but there is a kind of a cool glass piece, which I haven't started using yet, but maybe I will at some point. I'm trying to get the box set together for right now. Sorry, this has like a strap on it if y'all are not watching me. It's like a thing that goes around it. Ugh. So y'all get a live unboxing. It also has a pretty cool like candle of Lilith, and it lights up and shit. Comes with batteries. So.
Oh, that's
not Lilith. I'm sorry.
electric candle, right?
Yeah. Oh, it is Lilith. Yeah, it's electric candle with Lilith.
Okay.
So pretty dope. I thought it was cool.
That's a lot of
I like
shit.
collecting Blizzard stuff. So yeah, there you go. You get to see the box set. And I don't know if it's still available. It came like after the game came out. So yeah, I'll find a link for it and I'll put it in the chat if it's still available.
Nice. The game is still legit. I'm enjoying it. I keep learning new shit that isn't quite intuitive, but I like talking to other players. Like for example, I didn't realize that I could filter on the barbarian class, which is what I'm running, and basically you do these dungeons and you get like perks,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and then the other thing was claiming the more things you do in a certain section. And I got to like tier 2 or whatever, and it just gave me new bios of health. So now I have like up to 6 when I was running with 4 for the longest.
Yeah, because like
So
when you
I
first
like
start,
it.
there's like a bunch of stuff in like the beginning, like city, where you can like
Mhm.
expand like a bunch of your shit, but like most people just skip it. So,
Yeah. I'm gonna confess, I still haven't. I don't understand some merchants. Like I get the basic one, like the blacksmith and the armor and the gym, but there's like some newer ones that are only in Diablo 4 that still fucking confuse me.
oh, like the occult one, it's like that. Yeah, so like the occult one, you can take off enchantments off of your shit and put them on new ones. Like so, basically, you can just like take. It's only for like legendary shit, basically. But you can take off like the really cool legendary aspect of it, and then you can save it, and then put it on something else. It's the same way how like you know how you do like the challenges for like a class, and it shows up in
Yeah,
like the little challenge thing. It's like those where you can apply it to a different piece of gear, and they do that
gotcha.
for you too.
Prodigy, are you able to turn your volume up on your phone? Like you're very faint. Like you're like a whisper to me.
Okay, this is the highest it's on.
Well, he's talking about like your microphone volume, probably.
Yeah, you're my
Yeah, but
yeah.
we
Okay, hold on.
the problem is that we can hear him fine.
Yeah.
I cannot hear him at all. I can hear him as if he's in like a very far away in another room, like kind of murmuring.
I see.
Not even
You know
it's
what?
almost
Y'all keep going. I'll be right back. I'm gonna try
what do
to.
you say?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I don't know how that will work with the feed.
I know.
Are y'all going?
But yeah, it's very cool that you got this box. It looks like it's like a whole nother console. Like, can you imagine like a PS5 or Xbox like Diablo console? That'd be kind of cool, actually.
They have the Xbox Series X Diablo 4
I think
edition.
it's a controller. Yeah, I think it's just a controller.
No, it's the whole thing.
Oh, I haven't kept up, but
I don't know. It looks like a starter kit to some witchcraft.
Yeah.
A seance.
Like build a bear, but build a witch.
Build some bedlam.
Zug zug.
Oh dang. Oh, people said it sounds like Prodigy was in a metal box.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's, he's on his cell phone, so that's probably the main thing.
Cool.
Yeah, that's true.
So people are still in the chat are still talking about the Flash. They're still going off. I see Blue's interacting. I mean, I think Blue and I are the only two on the cast that's seen it.
Yeah, it looks like a Warrior fella said he said they're gonna see it January or July 4th. Who said they saw it?
I've seen it.
No, somebody in the chat had said they saw it.
Papa Bear, I think, seen it. I think Papa Bear.
Oh, no, we were talking about Spider-Man or Into the Spider-Verse.
Someone went into the Flash like right after.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's funny because I'm pretty sure someone posted that it looks like the Flash might be streaming on the 18th of July.
Damn, that's fast.
Like, yeah, that's literally in 2.5 weeks.
Save your money. Don't go to the theater.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Let's see. Let me see if it's posted.
What happened to your video, old Ninja? Did you turn it off?
Yeah, I turned it off.
Oh, okay.
Because it's probably eating.
I am eating. Of my face. But I think we lost Prodigy to the Void.
He's gonna come back. I think he's trying to do something like a different setup.
Okay. Oh, right on, Papa Bear.
Papa Bear wants
Um,
Prodigy back.
All right.
No, I don't think so.
On the live feed, it's like hecka delayed for me. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's usually pretty delayed, but the live stream should look better to everybody else in there. I hope.
I have no idea.
Mm.
So, there's a lot of stuff happening out there. Where people are already talking about, like everybody's talking about. I think we should discuss. There's going to be a tangent because one of the fans has a question for Cronus. I'll ask it once we go through this discussion. We'll get it in when Project kind of comes back. We can start it. So y'all have seen, I think yesterday, that Warner Brothers has announced that they casted a new Superman and a new Lois for Superman Legacy, which will start filming sometime this year. What are your thoughts on this cast?
Go ahead.
Well, one thing I just gotta say, James Gunn got to do something with his hair. Like, dude, you're stuck in like the early 2000s. Like, just let it go, bro. Just let it go. Anyways, no, well, I don't know the actor. Like, I think he was on like, was he on Down Abbey or something like that, or she was on Down one of those.
I don't know. No,
shows.
She's from the Marvelous Miss Marcel or something like that. Some show
Miss
like that.
Miss Maisel.
Maisel.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, she's the star on that show.
But it's basically like they basically cast a watered down Henry Cavill. Like the guy looks just like him, but then again, Henry Cavill like kind of looks like Christopher Reeve. So I guess there's kind of a look that they're going for. But yeah, I mean I know with Henry Cavill, like he was actually pretty small before he got the role of Superman, so he was able to bulk up. So maybe this person might be able to do the same. But then again, like when Henry Cavill was on the screen, like you just knew he was Superman, even though he was dressed as Clark. Like he was just too big to be Clark. Like he didn't have that that nerdiness or like that frail body. Like this dude was fucking yoked. Like Clark Kent was yoked. But this character or this actor, he's a little bit on the smaller side. But who knows what they're gonna do with them? But I don't know. I just DC just can't get their shit together when it comes to their movies.
I think they just need a chance, and I honestly, I mean, if you can do it, if you can pull it off, then good. But I mean, DC has been in shambles for a long time, and just, I mean, the Flash is just kind of the nail in the fucking coffin,
Yeah, we.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we got the Blue Beetle that's coming out, so hopefully that draws in some good numbers because I mean Jaime Reyes is pretty dope, and plus the Blue Beetle suit looks pretty sick so far in the trailer.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying this is like the Dollar General or the great value version of Henry Cavill. To me, I'm just like, people forget when Henry Cavill got casted, people were talking hella shit. Partly which is what Blue mentions that he was small. He was smaller. He wasn't like he wasn't like Michael Cera skinny, but he was like a smaller dude. And he bulked up and whatnot. And then people were like, saw Man of Steel, and then they came on board after they saw the film. I think that if they give this guy a chance, he can pull it off. And I think that they were looking for a Christopher Reeve kind of look. I think he's kind of in between. I think the closest to Christopher Reeve was Brandon Routh. He looked like Christopher Reeve more than anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, we shall see. I'm gonna wait and try to reserve judgment. I know that DC hasn't had a great track record, but we shall see.
But plus, like when it comes down to like playing roles, like I actually wasn't for Kristen Bell playing Batman. Like I was like, what? No, this. I mean, yeah, he's a good actor and stuff like that, but I just couldn't see him as Batman. He proved me fucking wrong. Like he's probably the second greatest Batman actor after Michael Keaton. So we will see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people, when there's a new whoever, like we're all, judgmental about who it's going to be, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah, well, I'll reserve judgment until it comes out, and it could be, I've always said, I've had a huge issue with the DCU in general. They've just been terribly edited, not very well written. The color palette was all off; they're all dark and shit. They just seem like kind of half-assed to me. So if they just made it like not half-assed and like a decent movie, then I'd give it a lot of kudos. So I mean, my standards for the DCU in general is very low at this point, especially given like them trying to shove Ezra Miller down our throats with the Flash, even though he's a fucking piece of shit. So
yeah.
All right.
So they're trying to get their money back. That's what they're trying to do.
That's probably not gonna. Well, they might get their money back. But
I think globally they've made their money back. But I mean, there's still the
marketing
part.
Yeah,
That.
Yeah. So
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Wait, you can hear who? Was Prodigy back? Oh, he is back. Hold on, give me a second. Can you? I can't hear him though. That's fucking weird.
I can hear him. He's pretty loud now.
Yeah,
You can't hear me?
There we go. Now I can hear you. Yeah, you
Okay.
much better.
I was just saying, Flash already flopped. It's not some financial success in any kind of way. True financial flop. They spent a whole bunch of money on all the reshoots. It's hot garbage in terms of financial stuff. And then there's also credible rumors going around that Warner Brothers is considering selling a lot of their historical catalog, even non-DC stuff. But in terms of, I'm going to still call him great value Superman. He certainly looks a lot like Henry Cavill, only, maybe thinner and obviously younger. Maybe add muscle to himself. I don't know. This is outside of a suit. This is outside of a trailer, and it's just name brand actor kind of right now to me. We'll see how it goes later on, but I didn't hate Henry Cavill at any point necessarily as an actor. I think it also sucks that we're not getting him as Superman and we're not getting him as Geralt of Rivia. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. The other thing I'll mention too, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the actress that's playing Lois Lane. We'll see with her. I'm not disparaging her per se, but I wasn't a big Amy Adams. Was that the redhead's name?
Amy Adams.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of hers from the standpoint of Lois per se, but we'll see. I just don't know her work, and I need to hear the role.
There hasn't really been a great Lois because, like, even with the Henry Cavill, not the Henry Cavill, what is it? Brandon Routh, like that version of Superman Returns, like that Lois wasn't that great as well.
That was Kate Bosworth, and we ain't seen her in a minute. I mean, she's on TV. But
wasn't that Lois a mama? Like, didn't she have a kid?
Yeah, she had a kid. She had his kid.
That was his. Okay, yeah, you're right.
I think the best adaptation of Lois Lane is, well, even in Smallville, Lois Lane wasn't that great. She was just hot.
No, you know what? In Lois and Clark, Terry Hatcher was bad.
Terry Hatcher, yeah.
Terry Hatcher I liked a lot. Like, that was one of my favorite depictions.
I still watch that show. It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, almost a lot.
It somewhat holds up.
Yeah, can I also say this, though, too? And I got to go tinfoil hat on this shit. The timing of the announcement is real weird. I mean, we're like a couple weeks from Comic-Con. We know that Warner Brothers isn't going to have a presence at Comic-Con, along with Disney and a whole bunch of other big studios. And then in terms of timing, you have the writers' strike going on right now, and then the actors are threatening to strike very, very soon, potentially. And so maybe this was making a quick announcement ahead of some potential additional strikes that may further delay and complicate contractual stuff going on, and to distract from the fact that The Flash is such a fucking failure. The timing was weird on this.
You know what's kind of crazy about the whole Flash thing is that compared to like Wonder Woman 84 and Shazam, it actually did better than those two movies. Box office wise.
Well, remember, 84 dropped when barely any theaters were open. That was at the absolute height of the pandemic. Shazam, I mean, you're absolutely right. It is what it is. It just didn't have any fucking buzz or whatever. But here's the other thing, too, that people keep fucking forgetting. It's not always about opening weekend. Sometimes it's really more important how long the legs are. Like, Ant-Man had a huge opening weekend, 3,
and then kind of
Hella
fizzled.
dropped off. Yeah.
You know, so
And
sometimes that shit happens.
And there's been movies that second week picked up numbers just because of word of mouth.
Exactly. Like Across the Spider-Verse has fucking legs. That shit is going to be going strong all of the month of July.
Got 8 of them
For sure.
Oh, you know what? You know what?
I like that.
You know what also had legs was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That lasted,
that lasted in the theaters for a little bit because word of mouth was very strong on that movie, so it stayed in theaters because it kept making money.
I remember people shitting on opening weekend for Avatar: The Way of Water, Avatar 2, and then that shit stayed on fucking top for like 7-8 fucking weeks and became the third highest grossing movie of all time.
Which is now it's on Disney Plus and HBO Max, which is weird.
Actually,
Really?
it might be. Yeah, it might be the second highest now. Yeah, I think it might have beat.
I think it's still third, dude. I think last I checked, it was third.
I remember it's up there. I could have sworn it overtook the first Avatar barely by like.
No, it didn't. No, first Avatar is at almost 3 billion.
Oh, okay. Because I remember it's up there. So
it's up there. It's well over 2 billion. I mean, it's still one of the most successful fucking franchises with only 2 fucking movies, and 3 out of 4 of the top highest grossing movies of all time are all James Cameron movies.
They are. I want to kind of bring it back to the core, kind of not the core, but just what we springboarded from with the DC news, kind of going back. So there was a fan that was questioning about certain things that Cronus was, I guess, into as far as movies. So I guess I'm going to formulate the question when it comes to directors, I guess. So Cronus, would you rather watch a James Gunn film or a Zack Snyder film?
Oh, James Gunn, hands down. I don't like Zack Snyder as a director.
And I know you said it on the podcast, but can you elaborate why?
Yeah, my main issue is that him and like his editorial team, they edit their movies like shit. Like they miss a lot of continuity issues that him and his editors always miss, and they seem to be like really chopped up very poorly where things don't make sense. I think a lot of viewers that are like comic book viewers, they kind of miss these things because we assume that we know kind of how these stories are supposed to be told. But if you go back and watch them a few times, like you can tell, like all of a sudden they're like somewhere, and then all of a sudden they're somewhere else. And it doesn't really make too much sense. Like if you just like take a movie as a whole and not like as a superhero movie. Not that I don't compare superhero movies to like normal movies per se, but I do compare like how like continuity goes in any storytelling. If the continuity's fucked up, then that just like messes me up like in general. And I don't like the general color palette that he uses in pretty much all of his movies. They're always too dark and it's too muddled, and there's like a lot of grays and they look fucking depressing. They all look depressing. I'll give you a perfect example. Like look at like Guardians of the Galaxy, and then look at like Justice League. Look at how they visually look to you, like the colors that they're using. And I think that's actually a Zack Snyder and James Gunn movie, right? Those are the two.
Yeah. Well, if you're using the Zack Snyder Justice League versus the Joss Whedon Justice League, then yes.
Yeah, but it's all his movies, like all of his movies that are especially the DC ones. Even like going back to like Sucker Punch and shit like that. Like they all have the same like really bad looking, like color
dark
palette.
tones.
And I'm not the only one with this critique. And it seems to be like his style. And don't get me wrong, like there's a bunch of people that have like an artistic style, and it's all subjective. Okay, and I understand some people might like the depressing look. You're probably an edgelord, whatever. But I prefer them not to look like that. And you might say, oh well, Batman, yeah, for Batman movies, I sort of get that. But when it comes to like, Superman, there should be like some hope in there, and with hope should come some like vibrant colors. When it comes to the Flash, there should be like some vibrant colors in there. When it comes to like, some other movies that that are out there that are DC movies, that they shouldn't look so fucking depressing. Like they've always bothered me like that, and like the writing just doesn't seem that good either. They're not the best. Like, look at the end of fucking Justice League, or was it Batman vs Superman? Whatever. Where like the end part was just he just said Martha, and all of a sudden that was like, oh my god, this makes so much sense. Our mom's name is Martha, and like we're just everything you just said, we're good now. You just tried to kill me, but fuck it, we're good. Like doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like none.
Given the fact that James Gunn had his whole fiasco with his really weird pedophilic tweets, and now he's the head of DC. He's co-head. I'm sorry. He's co-executive head of DC. Does that play into the fact of you watching any of his films?
Not really, but I honestly, I'd have to go back and like re-look at, like, cause like, if I remember like correctly, this is years ago that I remember this coming up. This is also a time where I wasn't quite as sensitive to these topics, where I just kind of like, kind of downplayed what he actually said. So maybe I'll have to go back and like read what he said on Twitter. I give some people passes, especially if they happen to like, first of all, apologize and make up for like what they've said in the past. Most people have said fucked up shit in the past. I've said fucked up shit on this podcast before that I definitely don't believe it anymore, because we've been on the air for like what, 8 years now. It's been a while, so I've definitely said some things when I was younger that I definitely would not say today, because it's stupid. But yeah, it depends on like what, like if he's made a statement, looking back on what he said and what he thinks about it now. So that goes a long way.
Okay. There we go. So that should clear up, I think, for that particular fan, some of the comparisons between, especially within the DC universe, because they both have directed DC films and they both directed non-DC films. Obviously, I think coming up later this year is the big epic by Zack Snyder, which I'm personally looking forward to.
Oh, sorry,
is the Rebel
Moon. I'm looking forward to that too. This is another thing that I had a problem with when it comes to Zack Snyder, especially recently. I just need another do-over with the movie. Like that is so fucking irritating. Like how many times there's like, we just need the Snyder cut. We need the Snyder cut for all. It's like, look, motherfucker, you had a chance to make this movie. If you're the director of the movie, why couldn't you just make them all the cut that you wanted to have them? If it wasn't a product that you wanted to put out, then you should have said that to begin with, instead of like saying years later, we need the Snyder cut. And just to be clear, so I'm consistent, I don't like it when George Lucas goes back and changes a bunch of shit in his movies. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the way, blah, blah. It's like, well, just make it the way that you wanted your vision back then. You're the fucking director. You could have done that. And just because this is what it seems like to me like he's doing, especially lately, is that he puts out a movie, people have the same complaints that I have about editing and colors and, just kind of bad directing. And he says, I have another cut, that I didn't put out yet, that adds in, X amount of time into this, and it's going to make so much more sense. It's like, no, you could have just done that to begin with. And, and I can guarantee you if it had been critically acclaimed when the movie came out and there was no complaints, then he wouldn't have said anything about some fucking Snyder cut. It's just, I can't stand that whiny ass bitch attitude of, I made it, in my mind it was better. It's like, you're the fucking director. You could have done it to begin with.
So, so for that one, like I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. That one, I have to give him a caveat because he had a family tragedy happen in the middle of the film, and he had to quit, and someone else had to finish his movie for him. So it was the studio that came to him and said, "Hey, we'll give you money and let you finish what your vision was because of the tragedy that happened to your family." And so I think it was unprecedented, and the fans were all about it. But after that, there's been no sign of him. So I can't say that. I believe actually every director has a version of a film that they didn't really get to finish or cut. And you can this even goes back all the way to even Silence of the Lambs, even Jaws. There's like a whole history on Jaws and like shit that they cut out, shit that they wanted to film and they didn't. So sometimes that's because of studio meddles. Sometimes it's because of budget. Sometimes it's because of time constraint.
Okay.
So there's a lot of factors that come in.
Okay. With this personal tragedy thing, I mean, obviously, that's a big deal, having a personal tragedy in his life. But at the same time, I didn't hear him saying anything like when they were putting the movie out. I didn't hear him saying anything about like even weeks after the movie came out, he didn't say anything about, I could have made it better, could have the Snyder cut. I had, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't until like weeks and weeks and weeks, probably even months later, where he was just like, I had like this other cut where it's like adding in like all this extra content. I'm just like, messing with that bullshit. Like honestly, like he could have what he could have done is just stepped away and just like let it go. Just let it go. I mean that you had a personal tragedy. You didn't get the thing you wanted to make. Just let it go.
Well, let me say this though too. At least for Justice League, there's a drastic improvement. I mean that theatrical had all the issues in the world. The longer version was just a better movie, period. And I think a lot of the people who saw it, in general, audiences tended to really, really like it.
Yeah, I know. I like the Snyder cut that they released. I watched it 3 times. I saw it once in color, once in black and white, and then once in true black and white.
I watched it once because it was 4 hours. Like God, I mean, there's intermissions. There's like 3 intermissions, but God dang, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, it was funny because like
the whole thing, start to finish.
So there was like rumors that they were going to release it in black and white, and I was like, "Why don't I just turn the color off on my TV and watch it in one?"
Yeah,
so I did that, and then all of a sudden they released the black and white version. I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm going to watch the black and white version now."
I mean,
but overall, like it is the thing about the Snyder cut was that it just filled in all the gaps, and the animation was a lot better, the CGI was a lot better. So I mean, they fixed it, but it should have been done correctly the first time around.
So I will say yes that what Kronos had talked about as far as editing issues, a lot of that is fixed in the Snyder cut. It is way more cohesive, way more connective, and like it has like a story. It literally has beginning, middle, and end.
But I mean, you shouldn't.
Version there's a lot of jumps.
Okay, even with that movie, and it's fine. Like I'm not trying to say like you guys are wrong because you're not. I mean, if you enjoyed the movie, you enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say the same thing either, but I want to interject that there's these things as well.
It's fine, but like when you see the editing issues is not just that one movie, and so if like you put out a movie, and obviously I understand with that specific one, Joss Whedon did I guess at least half or maybe more of the directing process, but even his other movies, like there were the same literal complaints before this. And
can I just say this too? And everybody's gonna have opinions. I don't even know how we got on this subject. Old Ninja was asking questions. That's what it was. But I thoroughly enjoyed Army of the Dead, and then Army of Thieves as well, and then what was it? The 04, the one in the mall.
That was a remake. The
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Or something like that.
It is Dawn of the Dead. It's
Yeah,
that was good.
That would have Ving Rhames in it.
Oh, yeah.
That was old school.
It had Ving Rhames and fucking Tyrese.
Yeah,
no, Tyrese wasn't in that one.
I was gonna say they sound like they fill the same role.
Tyrese is in that one. You know why? Because his girlfriend was
no
Russian.
way. No, that's not Tyrese. Hold on, I just saw this. That's not Tyrese.
That's Tyrese.
Ain't no way. Hold on.
Yeah,
did Fizz choke him out because he was eating his mom's soup or some shit?
So Tyrese is in the film. So there's a scene where they have the zombie baby and they don't show the zombie baby, and everybody wants to kill the baby, and he's like, "You gonna take care of my family?" And like, they kill the mom, and they want to kill the baby, and I think they kill him. So yeah, he's in that movie.
No, Mekhi Phifer's in that movie. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Always wrong. Get out of here.
Always wrong.
Bullshit.
You think Samuel Jackson?
No. How you gonna confuse black people just because one of them's black and dark skin?
Hold on, they both black. They both black. Shut up.
Oh my god.
They both black.
You loud and wrong. Fuck you.
That's what Hollywood said too. It's like, wasn't Tyrese?
Yeah, no,
we thought we got Tyrese.
How you gonna confuse Mekhi Phifer for Tyrese?
One of them doesn't even sing, bro.
I mean, because sometimes we look alike.
The audacity. And I'm sitting here like, no, I saw that movie like a month or two ago, and I'm like, that wasn't Tyrese, and you just loud.
Yeah, but you loud and wrong all the time.
Whatever the
fuck.
fuck.
A bunch of One Piece bullshit.
Whatever the fuck.
Was Mekhi in 8 Mile with Eminem, or is that another?
Yes, that was Mekhi Phifer.
Oh, okay.
It also had
Clarence
or Sam Wilson.
Fucking Clarence.
Yeah.
That'll never get old.
I remember Mekhi's in the song is in that movie because of Eminem's verse in his song 8 Mile.
You know what's so funny about that movie though? If you go back, Like it had Kim Basinger, right?
Yeah, his place she plays his mom.
Kim Basinger, and then it had what was the dead girlfriend, the one that played Kim?
Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy. She's been dead a long time. She's staying dead.
Yeah,
Well,
generally,
usually when you
Prodigy, I don't know how
dead,
to
you
say this,
stay
but
dead.
generally when you die, you stay dead.
Yeah,
She ain't coming back though.
No.
she been dead.
I mean,
but I mean,
unless
she
you're a
was like
necromancer, I'm just...
almost becoming a real deal star just before she died. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, where else?
Speaking of Miles, I know I threw this in the chat a little earlier this week, but for Across the Spider-Verse, not Across, is it Across the Spider-Verse? Is that the next one? The third one?
Oh,
yeah, Across the
Beyond.
Spider-Verse.
I think it's Beyond.
Beyond, that's what it is. Beyond. So that won't be coming out next month or next year. It's definitely it looks like it's gonna be pushed back. A little conflict. Well, so far all the actors who did the voice work said they haven't even started like doing anything, and it doesn't even look like the animation have even started.
I was gonna say the voice work isn't the hard part; it's the animation part that's the hard part.
Yeah, but like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it, and they were saying that for Across the Spider-Verse, like the artists like had to work like 10 hours, 7 days a week for a whole fucking year. Like that's some fucking crazy bullshit right there.
So we always hear about that in the gaming world in terms of crunch and all of that stuff. And I will say, as someone who, buys a decent amount of games, like I think about it after the fact, like, God damn, they put in a whole lot of fucking effort. I hope they get compensated if the game's a hit or the movie's a hit, but that's a lot.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But it looks like it's going to be pushed back until 2025. So
we're a whole nother year.
Wait, a whole nother year.
My daughter's going to be mad, but whatever. I mean, like, with this, especially this movie, the fact that there were so many different animation styles in the same movie, I mean, I can understand why you have to push it back. I mean, like they said, that one fight scene alone in like the Spider-Verse realm was like, it took 4 goddamn years, and I can believe it, because I mean they had to put in, it was probably at least, I would say, 30 fucking different art styles in that one scene alone.
Take your time, do it right. Tell the story that you want to tell. We'll wait, but yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Across the Spider-Verse ended on a cliffhanger, and we'll wait.
Yeah, I wish they didn't dangle that carrot in front of us saying it was going to be out next year in May. I was like, oh yes, I don't have to wait that long. I got to wait even longer.
Hey, games get pushed back all the time. Movies get pushed. For sure. Look at during the pandemic how many fucking movies got pushed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, but they pushed back because Into the Spider-Verse. Goddamn, I keep Across the Spider-Verse got pushed back because it was supposed to come out in 2021 or 22, I think, and it got pushed back mainly because of the pandemic. But they made changes. They updated the artwork. They told a better story. So, they can take their time. I'm not too mad at it.
I got a question for you. Is Joan the worst? Is Joan awful? Is Margaret awful?
Joan.
Oh man, yeah. So you talking about that Black Mirror, huh?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Damn, man, they did their own multiverse shit. It fucks your head.
So Kronos, are you good with spoilers?
No.
Just on the first episode.
Just let me know when you're done.
All right.
We'll touch on it.
Yeah, we'll just touch a little bit. Because here's the thing, and I was talking to Old Ninja when we was out in Little Italy this past Saturday about this. God fucking damn it. First of all, Selma Hayek, shout out to you. You've been bad since the 90s. You still sexy. You still bad. And then my other thing is, old girl, God damn it, I forgot her name, but she was from Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Abby Murphy, something Murphy. Anyway, something Murphy, Nicole Murphy, whatever the fuck it is.
Annie Murphy? I don't know.
Annie, that's it. That's her name. Annie Murphy. This chick, holy fuck, she was acting. Like the fact that she went into that goddamn church in her cheerleader uniform with fucking a dick on her fucking forehead written in lip after eating 15 fucking burgers and a whole bunch of laxative and wine and shat herself, and then had the audacity to tell the kids, don't look at me. That was acting. That was
and In the middle of somebody's goddamn wedding.
Right in the middle of an interracial wedding. That was great. That was wild. That
But
was
it
wild.
so
hold on. Prodigy, you're biased because you were looking for someone to shit on someone's carpet. It got on film, and you're all about it because it was a mainstream show that shows somebody shitting on carpet.
She did shit on carpet. She shit on it in a church. Shout out to her. And not only that, she had an air horn and everything. And I mean, it was coming out like she was like grunting with it. That was foul. You know what I mean?
Dude, what's so crazy about this episode? If you ever saw that episode of South Park, the Cinepad episode, where like you don't read the fine print of the little agreement thingy. I basically what this is. It's a very very far twisted story of that, but I don't know. It all worked really well, and the fact that Selma Hayek was in it, and she played. I know Selma Hayek is a super nice person, so I couldn't see her being like mean about things, but it was just funny just to see her play Selma Hayek, and the fact that she calls herself Selma fucking Hayek, like whenever she would say things.
Yeah.
But like for my intro, because like she talks about the computers and she says computas, and I just thought that shit was so fucking funny when she said that.
That shit was hilarious, man. I mean, I hadn't seen Selma Hayek in something, especially this funny, in fucking years. Like, I miss her being in some comedic roles, but she's still fucking bad. She just hot as fucking shit.
Do you follow her Instagram?
I don't. I need to.
Oh,
That's
man.
a good idea.
Whew.
That's a good idea. But yeah, this shit had it even had Michael Cera in there. You know what I mean? Who I hadn't seen in fucking forever or whatever, you know? But I've only watched the first episode. I fucking loved it. Some people didn't like this season, so I'm kind of slowly going to watch some more. But that first episode hit me fucking hard.
The second episode is good.
Yeah.
But it's on a different wavelength. It's definitely not comedic, and it has like a different kind of like.
What was the third one about?
I haven't seen the third one. I've only seen the
what?
first.
I've seen the third one. What was the second one about? I forgot.
The second one is basically like it's like kind of like a wannabe Blair Witch, but not like a Blair Witch kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Where it has the guy from Game of Thrones who plays Podrick with a very thick Irish accent, like a very thick Irish accent.
It's the one that's we're doing a documentary, right?
They're doing a documentary, yeah. They're doing a documentary of the town, and there's a huge twist towards the end. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
So that was interesting.
The third one has oh god, the guy from Breaking Bad that was what's his name, like.
Oh wait, I have seen that one.
The one that takes place in space,
and
then also has
Did you watch it out of? You watch it out of order, old ninja?
No, I watched it in order, but I watched them. I watched them like days apart, so I didn't watch them one back to back. I forgot the one. So the third one has Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
And shit, one of the guy from Breaking Bad. What the hell's his name? I can't think of his name, but he was just here.
The chemistry professor or the other one?
No, the other guy, the young guy.
Jesse?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the famous brothers. So, yeah, but it has him in it, and then it has what's her name in it? Kate Morgan. No, yeah. Kate Morgan. Kate
I don't know who the fuck that is, but
Kate Morgan was in okay, I was in that movie. She was in.
She's in her sister.
She's in Fantastic Four, the remake one. With,
yeah, Josh Trank's.
She plays Storm.
Yeah. No, she plays Invisible Woman.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sue Storm. You both are right. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch some more of it. Hopefully later on this week or whatever.
Kate Mara, that's her name. Kate Mara is her name.
Yeah, but I just will say, I dig fucking Black Mirror. It's good to see that shit back on the air and whatnot.
So I will say this: the fourth episode has Zazie Beetz in.
Say less.
So I haven't watched it yet, but that's the one I haven't seen.
Let me perv out just a little bit. Zazie Beetz is infamous for going on interviews talking about how she don't really shower all that much. Like she just do a fucking hoe bath or a cat bath, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And she's still fine and still got folks online talking about I'll drink your bathwater. Like that's how bad she is. She ain't even
Oh,
got good hygiene.
she played Luck, right? Or what's her name in Deadpool?
She played Domino,
Domino.
Domino, that's what it was. Yeah.
but supposedly she's not going to be in the third one. So we'll see. The other thing is with that third one, they got a script, but they
Bring
can't
Kodos
edit.
back in here.
They can't edit because of the strike. I don't know.
Well,
Chronos.
so
Oh yeah, let him know.
they can't ad lib because there's the writer strike. So it has to be directly from the script from the page. No editing, no nothing. It's got to be word for word for
That's not
now.
that's not a good sign. But all right, we'll
I mean,
see.
it's either that or they stop production. So
Yeah, yeah, we will see. Where else y'all want to go?
Hey, I wanted to, and since Chrome's back on here, I gotta get Kronos' feedback on Extraordinary on Hulu. I know you finished it, right?
Yeah, I did finish it.
What? It was great, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was actually really, really good. I was. I hate to say it, but I was surprised. Not that you get bad recommendations or anything, but it was like way better than I thought it was going to be. Because it started out. Like kind of okay, and it just kept getting better. Cause for a while I didn't think that the guy that could give orgasms with a touch. I didn't think that I thought maybe he was faking it, but he was not. So yeah, it was. The show, Blue gave the synopsis of it earlier. Basically, everybody gets powers around 18, but like some people don't. And this the main character is a woman who doesn't get it, and she's kind of a piece of shit in real life. Like honestly, she's not a really good friend. She's really bitter about not getting powers, and everybody else, like her best friend's power is like being able to have the dead talk through her, and it's funny because even though she has her friend has like this really cool power, she works for like a law firm to like do fucking like inheritance disputes. Like they'll just use her to like talk to like the person that died to like see what they really wanted like in life, and it's just like it's really funny, and like she ends up even like falling in love with like one of the people that she's being a medium for. It's just like that whole scene with like the former king was like, it was hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's honestly the show. I think everybody should go watch it because it's an English show, which is, and I like some English humor, like Red Dwarf and the IT Crowd. If you like those sorts of shows, if you're an older nerd like me, then you'll definitely appreciate this show, even though it's with younger people in it. But it's still fucking funny. It's like their humor is really good, and there's actually somebody that I saw in like a previous show, sex education. Did you ever watch that, Blue?
I watched the first 2 seasons. I think that's the one that was on Netflix, right? Where I had a homegirl from X-Files.
Yeah, Gillian Anderson. Yeah, so like the black girl in there, she's actually in Extraordinary.
Oh, the one from. Oh yeah.
She doesn't have powers, and then she gets them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
probably there's a scene that you might like. There's a scene where they pee on a counter.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They might do it on the floor too, but yeah.
Yeah, that whole scene was fucking hilarious, and it was also kind of unbelievable because they didn't know who did it. But yeah.
Dude, what was your favorite scene? Because I always talk about like the dentist scene.
The dentist scene was pretty funny, but
yeah.
What would be like the funniest scene? There were so many of them. I think. Well, actually, no. I don't think it's not funny. It's like one of the ones that were kind of sad. Is like, but it was like an important scene. Is like when the guy who could rewind time, and he knows that his girlfriend's gonna break up with him, and he's just constantly rewinding time to like not break up. And it was just like, it's fucking sad when he realizes that he can't get around it, and so he basically has to like reset all of his like rewinds at once. He has to listen to her say, I think we should break up like over and over again until he runs out of resets, and then reality sets in for him. And it's fucked up. And he was a coward, so
yeah, he is.
Yeah, like a huge coward.
But the part where the printer guy, it's the 3D printing guy, where he's in the bathroom. He's like he's 3D printing like some energy drink for him, and he's like, "What flavor do you want?" I was like, Wow, he can actually print like different flavors.
Yeah, I think that too. It's like, would you want to drink something from somebody's ass? So yeah, they have. There's a guy that can like 3D print from his ass, and
Yeah.
like almost anything that can like fit through his asshole, he can like 3D print. It just takes him a little bit of time, and there was like the other guy, the big black dude, who could go through solid objects, but only if he's naked, and he it's hard for him to get through it. So like one time he gets stuck naked in like a wall and his ass is hanging out. And it's just like it's so fucking funny. He's like stuck
For
there
hours.
overnight. Yeah.
But yeah, you guys definitely gotta check out that show. It's so fucking funny. I can't wait for season 2 to drop. Who knows when though?
I saw the pilot and I really, really loved it. I need to go back to it. I mean, you were absolutely right with your recommendation on that one. It's good.
It definitely gets better because even the first one's good, but then it just like keeps getting better and better with like the people's with different powers and like the way that like her like fuck buddy was like treating her like shit, but then she kind of treats everybody else like shit, and it's just like, yeah, it's just it's really good because like I like shows that have complicated people in them, and like they show like kind of the darker side of people, and like the main character, I forget what her name is, but like they wrote her really well because like it's hard to like really root for her the whole time. Like you kind of don't like her. Like I didn't like her. So
What about the scene in the girl's bathroom with her sister when they go to like her sister's like graduation or some shit?
The funniest thing in the whole fucking show was talking about how she finger blasted her girlfriend into the ER. I was like, God damn. She like literally fractured her hip from finger banging her girlfriend. I was like, dude.
her girlfriend's walking around with a crutch. That's the reason why they broke up.
And like a hip like cast.
Yeah. She got snoo-snooed.
Yeah.
It should. What else? What's everybody still playing right now?
So I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom still, and I'll be playing Diablo tomorrow after I do some housework. But I got to tell you a really cool like gaming story that happened this week for me and Kay. So I was playing Tears of the Kingdom, and like if y'all haven't played the game, it's one of the best games ever. Seriously, it's like climbing up the ladder of like, it's up there for like one of the best games of all time, easily, because you can just do shit the way you want to play it. And so I was just like randomly flying around places. Kay is like way further in the game than me, but I found this place to where I found like this secret sage in the game that's not part of like the main quest, at least where I was at, and I happened to find it, and I told Kay about it, and so that night we were both playing the game at like the same points, and I got the big TV and we were both playing on like in handheld mode, and we're both like at the same parts, and we had to like fight the same boss, and I ended up like beating the boss, and she ended up dying. And she was like, "Oh, I'm done for the night." And so I got through like the cutscenes and stuff, and it was like, you end up getting a fucking mech in this game, like a legit mech that you can like ride on top of and like put attachments on, like laser beams and fucking cannons and shit. I was just like, what? Like this game is so amazing. There's only like few like little technical downsides, but the fact that it gives you like so much freedom on like how you want to play, because like when the way that Kay even got to the place where I told her to go, because I found it first and I just showed her on the map, like just go here, and like the way that she got there and the way that she was like figuring stuff out was like way differently than the way I was doing it, and what I like about the game the most is that the developers give you the freedom to like play the way you want. So like what they'll frequently do is you'll be in a situation like a puzzle. But like they'll put down like materials to, like where you could tell like what they want you to do, but you don't have to do it like that. Like I frequently just like make shitty bridges out of stuff and just like figure my way out to like, or I use like a rocket shield to like go up places and like not do like what they want me to do. Like they have like, this whole elaborate fucking like minecart thing scenario for like a boss battle, and I was just like, I got to the point because you had to get like 5 blocks. And I was like, fuck these minecarts. I just started using like rocket shields and just like flying around and like getting to where I had to go without using like the minecart thing. And you can do that. Or you can just do it the way that they wanted you to do it by using the minecarts. And I think that it's very refreshing when a developer believes in, first of all, their code and like their players, and like just giving them the freedom of doing like however they want you to play, or however you want to play, not them want you to play. I hope that more games take note and just because it's fucking fun. Like I don't need 4K graphics and 120 frames per second or even 60 frames per second. I don't need any of that shit. The game is just fun to play. Oh, and one thing that I noticed, one of the ways that I think the game kind of skirts around some of the how big the game is that all the characters are fucking Mii's. Do you get any of you guys have Switches?
No, no, I don't.
Did you just have a Wii at all? Any of you guys
What?
have a Wii?
I still have my Wii. I take my Wii. I use my Wii every week
So
to
do
replay
you know
some
what a
old.
Mii? You know what the Mii's are?
Yeah, I know what the Mii's are. I have like two of them on my
Yeah.
system.
So all the characters in the latest Zelda games, they're Mii's.
How? Like,
Look at their
what?
faces. They're all fucking
Oh.
Mii's.
That's all bad.
Yeah, they just took that system of Mii's and they just randomized it for like all the NPCs, and then like they made specific ones for the main characters, except for like I guess like the gore, any like human, human, uh, like human sized characters, they're all Mii's.
So, for those of you who missed I guess the Mii's or the Wii generation, a Mii is basically like a bowling pin with like a human face on it. You're supposed to make it look like yourself, so
Well-
you do your best to make it look like you.
And they have modern. I mean, the Switch has Mii's too. Like they have an updated like template for Mii's.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty funny. That's actually really funny. But I've seen some really weird constructs in fucking uh, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because like the one where someone built like a giant mech with a flaming dick. Someone built the Batmobile from the Christopher Nolan series on it. You can watch it it's on TikTok now. People are built. Some dude built like it's like a carousel, but he put like a sidecar in it, so it's basically a bunch of ships in a circle, and then he uses a sidecar like seat and uses the ships to roll through water. Which
Dude,
is
with
like just super weird.
with the Batmobile one, like they got so creative with it that it even breaks down and turns into a fucking motorcycle. Like that's how
Yeah.
legit that's how crazy people are getting creative for this game.
And I can recognize like what all the pieces are because like you already have all the pieces. Like I've already seen like pretty much all the pieces that you can have in the game. So yeah, it's
Really?
like they just let you like do whatever you want, and there's no restrictions. Like like before in like older games or like even other games to this day, like they'll have like invisible walls to where you can't get to things, or they say like, oh, you can't get here yet or whatever. It's like no, like if you can figure out a way to get to like some place in the game, you can get there. There might not be something for you there, but you can get there. So, like, one of the things, except for like the boss battle, there's some you need to have for the major bosses. You need to have like the avatar character with you to get through it. But that's about it. Other than that, like you can if you can get there, like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it reminds me of? It looks like an updated version of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Because in that game, you could build everything you wanted from the world and make all kinds of shit from all kinds of weird. It looks like children's like building blocks type thing,
Mhm.
where you can make like really cool shit in the game, like and go anywhere, or almost anywhere. I mean, it's an older game, but the mechanics and the building tech looks like they just expanded on it for Zelda. So I'm glad people are enjoying it. I mean, it's almost making me contemplate getting a Switch, but
Oh,
we'll see.
that game alone and the last game, it's definitely worth it. There's actually a really good. Is it Today Explained from Vox Media? They have like a really cool podcast about the economics of Zelda, and it's like people that have never played or have not played games ever before, or haven't played for like a really long time, are like playing, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and they're just nerding out. It's like it's so fun because there's like an older lady that is basically telling the story of like her getting back into games, and she's like in her 50s, I think, and like the amount of childlike wonder and excitement for her for this game is just so much fun to like listen to, like having somebody that excited at that age. Not that she's like super old, because that's like not even that much older than me, but just being so excited about a goddamn video game. I think it's cool.
Right on. Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about. I think further this year, because we have a lot of Game of the Year contenders just so far, and it's
Yeah.
just gonna be. And we're not even to like the big push part of the year. That'll be like in the fall and December. That's when everything's gonna be like super crazy.
I still haven't
So
played
it's
Street
gonna
Fighter
be
6
interesting.
yet.
Neither have I.
I
I've been
haven't.
meaning to buy it. Oh, you bought it? I haven't bought it
Yeah.
yet. I've been slacking. I was gonna buy it today, but I'll probably pick it up tomorrow. But I want to build my character because I heard character creation, based on your creativity, it can be a very long. It can take you up to an hour. Like there's, I think it was Games Radar or IGN or like a Twitch streamer. They spent one whole hour building their character just to play in the game. I,
Was it a guy or
I don't get to
a
the
man or a
end.
woman?
I don't remember. I was watching part. I kept skipping because they literally started with one base character, and then they like started over and did like some crazy character. And they went back to like the human looking because they built something super weird that looked like it looked like a inflatable device with like a fucking eyes and a big ass mustache. So they went back and built something else. I've seen people build like celebrities in the game. Someone built like the rapper Ice Spice for the game. I was like, what the fuck? And they have this little video of her fighting. It's hella crazy. And like, there's a whole video I think IGN posted when the game started because people who had the beta version or like an early release, they had this compilation of the craziest characters in the game. They look like aliens. Some of them were just super goofy. Some of them were super stupid.
That's right, our
And
Prodigy's Alley. It's got to have
yeah,
the Hulk with giant tits.
yeah. I mean, if you could build that if you wanted. You could literally build that, and it's like super crazy. So I'm like, damn.
It was
I'm,
Lilo that would spend hours creating her characters, right?
oh yeah,
Stitch's wife.
but she admits to that. So yeah.
Mm.
She's not the only one. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, there's been a few games where I put some time in to create my character.
Yeah, but a whole hour. I mean, if you want it, because you can do a lot of customization, and the game itself apparently like the. I guess you can play two different ways. You can do like the story mode, or just jump into straight fighting. So there's like a super crazy amount of content in this game. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably gonna buy it this week. I may wait till next week. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. It
And
looks
then
great.
Final Fantasy 16 is out too, and that's another one. It's just like, god damn, that game was so fucking good. You know, when the demo was so good. I look forward to playing it, but it's just not going to be today or even next week. So
Yeah, I mean,
Is it out already?
Yep.
yeah. I highly recommend everybody play it. At least play the demo. Demo's free, and it's the first part of the game. So, and when I say the first part of the game, it's literally the first part of the game. So if you play the demo and you decide you like it and you start playing the game, it'll pick up the save from your demo. And if you after you're done playing like the first part of the demo, you can do what's called the icon challenge, and it's basically you but like way later in the game where you have 3 different icons, and it's dope. So it gives you like 2 nice like pieces of the game, and it's fantastic.
They did.
I remember another.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh. No, I was gonna say I think another game had did that in the demo where like it showed you like in the beginning like when your character was kind of starting off, but then like later on it shows you like your character being OP'd or not OP but like having more abilities, more powers at a higher level, which I always thought was cool.
A few have done it, but first of all, it's very rare that demos are even a thing anymore. Like not enough games do it, and also I've never seen it before where like literally the save that you have on the demo carries over into the main game. That was fucking genius.
Yeah, I will say for 7 remake, they let you play some. I think most of the first mission or 2, something like that, and it definitely sold me. I ended up buying it. I'll definitely buy this latest Final Fantasy 16. See how it fucking goes. But I was impressed with the demo. I'm glad it's selling well. I'm glad Final Fantasy is still a viable franchise. It's been good. It's been real good.
okay.
We shall see. What are you actually playing, Blue or Old Ninja?
Go ahead, Blue. Blue.
No, I was muted.
Oh.
Oh.
No, I'm not playing much of anything right now. What about you, old Ninja?
I am playing. So I'm trying to not over.
I'm playing a game of life. That's what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Out here on these streets trying to get a job. I got a kid in the car. What else is? I got the little peg in my car with my wife and my kids.
I
So
got 5 kids to feed.
Oh man. For me, so I'm trying to not get too over bogged down, but I already have like a shit ton of games. So the most current games I was playing the No Man's Sky Expedition, which is actually pretty. It's not too bad. There's a couple things. There's one thing you had to look up because it was a community-based goal, but now that goal has passed, so you don't need to look it up how to do it anymore. So I finished that. So now I'm moving on to. I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty. So Call of Duty updated with like a bunch of shit. They have like story missions inside the DMZ. Um, there's just like it's on a shorter season, but there's some kind of secret unlock that's gonna unlock in 13 days. So the community is going about, wondering what's going on. So they also have community-based goals. So there's like an event for the community. If they hit the goal for the community, it unlocks for everyone in like all the maps. So or one map in particular. There's a new map, and if the community hit like goals for that map. So basically, what they do is like the map is cut up into sectors, and each sector you need to do like specific things. Like you need to either kill people, kill NPCs, kill other players, or complete a task. Usually, the task is like to find a detonator and then disarm it. And then once you do that, you get like a what they call like a medal, and that medal count goes to the community count. And the more people that complete these events or these tasks adds to an unlock. So the first unlock was like it was like a moving store. So the map takes place in the Netherlands. So what they added was a taxi boat that has like a store and a bunch of like free boxes that you can get. So you just jump onto it, loot it, and then take off or buy or mod if you need to. The second one was like a reinforcement flare. So you can get this flare and call in a reinforcement. Usually you'll need it for a mission, but it brings in a big ass fucking um, LTV, which is a giant truck with a fucking 50 cal on it. The next one is like a I guess it's called the favorite box. I don't know what's supposed to be in it. I don't know what it's supposed to set up is. And the last one I think is it's a new melee weapon. So when the community hits that, everybody gets a new weapon. And then like in 13 days, they're gonna unlock some new thing for everybody. It's either gonna be a new weapon or a new character or maybe even some other new things they're gonna add to the event. So I've been playing a lot of this, adding to that, and then I've been debating about starting Resident Evil 4, but then I've been playing some Jedi Survivor, and the answer to B Boy Frost's question before you asked it is yes. I know you're going to ask the question. The answer is still yes, and so that's when I've been kind of limited to that. I don't want to start Resident Evil 4. I do want to go back to Cyberpunk because the new DLC's out in like a couple months or a month or something. So I've been like trying to keep it to those games for now.
The chip Resident Evil 4 is absolutely great. So let me know when you start playing it.
You haven't started it. It's still sealed, and then I want to get Street Fighter 6, but I'm like, I already have all these fucking games. I've been kind of dipping my toe back into Monster Hunter World, but
Oh,
when I really
Not Rise.
no, I mean I have Rise, but it just wasn't. There's not the same squad. Like not everybody's playing it. It feels everyone complains that it's too easy. I mean it's fun, but it's just not. It's not the same.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, just Monster Hunter World just felt like it just felt more right. It has a bit more of a challenge. Yes, I know the Sunbreaker DLC adds more challenge or whatnot, but I feel like there's way more shit to do um in Rise that's like feels like busy work. Like you gotta raise like two different pets that'll help you when you do your missions. But I'm like, why do I need this? And in World, I didn't need this. I just had my Palico and it was fine. This one, I got a dog and a cat, and I'm like, I don't really know if I really fucking need it. It is what it is.
Fuck it. Um, where else you guys want to go? 'Cause there's
So we should be talking about that hot button issue.
Which one?
Warrior Fellow bought it up earlier. Everybody's fucking talking about it. It's this huge fucking hot button shit. It is the advent of AI. I know we grazed on it like earlier this month or
I
earlier.
like we
Yeah,
talked about this multiple times, but all right.
no,
Yeah, we
but
have.
like it's still yeah, but we touched on it. But because AI keeps branching into new um, disciplines and new categories, people are freaking out. And should we be scared? That's the question. Should we be scared that these companies are using AI to do these things, or should we be concerned? Should we be scared? Uh, so, for instance, the most recent is Secret Invasion for Disney Plus, Marvel's Secret Invasion. The intro to the show is done by AI, which caused a huge backlash for some reason. Personally, I don't know why,
You mean
but
the writing or the look or
It's just
what
no,
aspect?
the
the
imagery.
artwork in the intro,
Okay.
is all AI, and people had they had a lot of feelings about this.
Wait a
So
minute. Wait. Hold up. Back up. If you're saying the artwork is AI, and I haven't seen the show yet, why is nobody complaining about giant scroll titties and Fuda dick and all? I mean, that's all that AI is. We all know it.
no, that's what you've been
That's the
looking
sites I've
at.
been going to.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's all the sites that you're going to, but they did something different with this AI, and people were freaking out, and they're also freaking out about Warrior Fellow was talking about like the AI scare. Part of the writers, we talked about this like a few weeks ago, but part of the writer scare is about AI writing, like was it the
Chat
chat
GPT.
GP? Yeah, so I guess you can literally have AI write fucking TV scripts or whatever,
Yeah,
and people freaking out about this shit.
but hold on. Let's be like accurate in terms of what they're actually saying. It's about in terms of the writers. It's about money
It is about
and
money, but
it,
it's also about
and
work.
yeah, money and work. You're right,
Work is
but
money. So
according to
anyway,
them, it's about the money and the rights for like the money in perpetuity from streaming, which is a very different structure from traditional television. And according to them, it hasn't kept up or been commiserate with like you get this many amount of dollars for like writing Seinfeld that's on repeat on TNT for the last 30 fucking years. You know what I mean? That's not the way it works in streaming, and they feel like they should be getting some more of that dough.
That is also correct, but also another point of this argument is if you have some intern or some very person that hasn't really written a whole TV show or a movie and like you need something quick, you go to this chat GPT and have it pump out a 200-page script in like, I don't know, a couple hours or less. That is work, as they say, being taken away from actual writer or, author, and
Well,
they're kind of on edge about this.
the other question is I mean, they kind of played along with this in Black Mirror, but like, who owns the rights to whatever Chat GPT or whatever AI pumps out?
It's another good question too.
yeah. So that's
I mean,
let me give my thoughts. I need to figure out the. There's a podcast I'm going to reference, but I forget the actual name. It might have been Marketplace. But anyway, so my thoughts on the AI thing is that when it comes to like the AI writing with episodes, like we're not quite there yet, but there is a problem when it comes to. I hesitate to even call it like really AI. It's a large language model. So all it really is right now is just it's a really good search engine that is a really good predictive text simulator. So what it's doing right now is it's going through it control the whole internet, like the vast majority of the internet, through articles and stuff like that, and then predictive text what they think you're asking. So if you say like, I want you to write, you know, about something, it's going to go through the internet of what something else wrote about, and then make an extrapolation of that, and then write for you. When it comes to like things that are like really defined, like I don't know, the bar exam, it's super easy to pass that shit because those are all known variables. Because like, there's only so many answers you can have when it comes to like a test like that. But when it comes to like writing an episode, what it's going to do, like if you ask right now for Chat GPT, or some other large language model to like write an episode of The Simpsons. What it's going to do is look up all the transcripts of episodes of The Simpsons, and then make a new episode based upon all the previous writing. And that's where the problem is when it comes to writers and the writer strike right now, is because ChatGPT and other large language models can take the entire work of human writers and then build upon that, but they didn't start with that. Like you can't take like a ChatGPT and then take it offline and then really ask it to do anything, because it needs the internet and other human works to really work through that. Like you can't ask it to write like a sitcom, because it wouldn't even know what the fuck a sitcom was. Even if it did, it wouldn't. It needs references to a sitcom from a human experience. And once you give it those tools, you still need to narrow it down as to like what exactly you're talking about. Maybe with like something like The Simpsons, it might be a little bit easier because there's like a large body of work that it can reference, and frequent jokes and characters and like nuances and stuff like that it can go back through. But when it comes to some other things, it could be a little bit more difficult. But even then, it still has a leg up on what is mostly human generated content, and that is not fair for those humans that made that content for like a large language model to build upon that without giving credit or even giving any sort of monetary compensation to those humans that spent years and years making their craft and writing episodes. so I can see where that's going to be a problem. If you want to see exactly why these large language models are not really suited for everything, there's like 3 episodes. I think it's from Market. I'm pretty sure it's Marketplace. It's a podcast where they used AI to write a whole episode, and they went through, I think it was like 3 episodes, and they went through every single step they needed to do, and it's not as easy as you would think. And they even went so far as to like taking like they had an older podcast that used to be on the show, and they made an AI voice for him. And so what they did, because he has so much of his audio content already online, that they fed it through. There's a company, I forget what the name of the company is, but basically it's an AI company that can basically replicate somebody's voice. And they fed it through, and like over like the course of like maybe a day, it almost perfectly fucking replicated this dude's voice. And so what they did was they had AI using very strict confines, write an episode for them, and then use the AI guy's voice that they replicated to like read the episode with another human guy. But the human guy was only going to read from the script that the AI, large language model wrote for both him and the AI voice. And it was actually not bad. It was pretty decent. But it's like, go ahead, Prodigy.
Yeah, I just want to say this. I mean, I know everybody's afraid and people are talking about this as the end of the world and all this other stuff. I think we have to look back and take a deep breath. Anytime there's new fucking technology,
Yes.
people freak the fuck out and overreact. Every single time. When electricity came on board, you had motherfucking cartoons in the New York Times talking about, oh, it's going to fry people's babies, when you plug something in. Like, people freak out with new technology in the stupidest ways when you look back. There was shit when we were kids about the internet. It just wasn't fucking true. So I'll just say this. Some of it is going to be a useful tool. Some of it is going to be pure, unadulterated shit that you can tell is computer written right a fucking way. I'm going to use it for watching some of the greatest hentai ever made. I'm going to continue to do that. That's all I got to say.
Hey, we can see if AI can make another season of High School of the Dead.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a developing story. Just take it with a grain of salt. Take a deep breath and realize that it's not the fucking end of the world. Go find some good hentai.
Yeah, I mean, people are still doing it right now, especially with like electric cars. Like, people are so against like battery technology. They're like, oh, well, where's the batteries coming from? I'm against kids, digging up, these rare materials from the earth. Meanwhile, they have fucking cell phones and they drive normal cars. It's like, where the fuck where do you think they're getting the oil from? Where do you think they're getting the batteries from? Every other goddamn thing you fucking use. Like, where do you think they're getting the, all these rare materials in your monitors and all these other things. It's like if you really cared, then you'd have cared about it a long time ago. But you're just being contrarian, the same way that people like when they made cars back in the day. Well, horses are so much better. You know, it's just like no, horses are not better than a fucking car, and the vast majority of gas powered cars are shittier than electric cars. Like they're not as efficient, like by any metric, and they're worse for the environment. No matter how you put it. Yes, they have to dig down to fucking get those materials, but guess what? They're digging that same fucking earth to get fucking oil, and I still haven't seen a lithium ion fucking spill anywhere.
Yep. You know what really actually started the car boom more than anything else in terms of East Coast major cities like New York and Philly and Boston and whatnot? It was the amount of fucking horse shit that was piled up so high and being a public health hazard.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, yeah, you can talk about nature and natural stuff and horses and all that. Do you realize that there was just a fucking thick ass 2, 3, 4 foot layer of fucking horse shit throughout the streets of Manhattan from all the delivery trucks, or delivery wagons and all of that other stuff, and people trying to take this horse here and there. Like, horses aren't better, like Chrono said, but don't be too afraid of technology. Just use it for good porn. That's all I want you to do.
I bet you dudes are back in the day. They were like, I'm tired of wearing high heels from walking through this horse shit.
Yeah.
That's where high heels are from. It's from dudes wearing high heels from like horse shit and mud.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? In all of those period pieces, especially the romantic ones, they never show the appropriate amount of horse shit in London and in New York. They never do that.
I wonder if they had the same amount of shit that San Francisco have of human shit right now. Oh, damn.
Yeah, he just made the same joke.
Streets of fucking San Francisco, goddamn. Dude, it's been a while since I've been to the city.
Me too. But I'm just there anymore, so.
I miss it. Hey,
let's celebrate for beer week. Come on, let's do it. All of us.
Oh yeah, it's coming up.
Oh, I said beer week.
Yeah, February.
I said February.
Oh yeah, I'm totally down.
Oh. Hey, I will say this. It's looking worse and worse for Jonathan Major's ex. I know I posted this in the chat. He's suing her.
Yes.
For domestic violence.
Oh.
And
loss of fucking pay.
And loss of pay and all. It's looking like there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that he was in fact the victim. I think that needs to be stated. And I think that there was a lot of jumping to conclusions early on in February and March or whatever this case dropped. Here's how I know that it's not looking good for her. Her whole government ass name is out in these articles. Oh. And typically with these scenarios, anytime someone, usually a woman, but anytime someone is the true victim of a crime that's ongoing and investigated and all that other stuff, typically, I'm not a lawyer, whatever, you don't release they say Jane Doe, they didn't do that here. You can read 3-4 articles that came out today. Her name, government name is all up in them, meaning, and this is still some speculation, but meaning it's looking like either he was completely innocent or he was actually the victim of this shit. I want him to be cleared. I want this to be finalized, but I want the apology to be as loud as the internet, you're guilty, you're terrible. Because remember...
Stop. It is never...
I know. I'm just saying I want it.
I know it won't be.
It
doesn't matter what you want. It's what's going to happen.
I know, but I'm still going to call people hypocrites over that shit.
You can do.
I'm always going to.
That's not going to echo out how loud the accusations were. All the think pieces and talk pieces about him being canceled, being recast, being he's always been like this, or I've heard from my cousins, uncles, nieces, nephews, dog that he was like this on the set of this 10 years ago, and all this other bullshit.
And all of that shit just jumped out of nowhere.
Yeah, and the apology will be a whimper, especially for
they
someone like
dogpile.
What's crazy is
especially
that
for Jonathan Majors.
you're telling me that a guy that looks like Jonathan Majors would not have been fucking vetted to the utmost degree. You know what I mean? Like the guy, he's a yoke black dude. Like you have to be the prerequisite to getting into Hollywood or any other fucking upstanding position is you got to kind of be a fucking nice guy. You know what I mean? Like you can't. We don't have the luxury of a white guy. I'll just put it like that. You know what I mean? Like the guy is physically intimidating. Like and like you can't. There would be no way that something like this would not have already came out after he already, you know, became a superstar. So I just find it hard to believe.
And here's the other thing too, obviously all the dust has to settle. But what it's looking like, based on the articles that came out today, it's looking like the NYPD jumped to some shitty ass racist conclusions too. I'll call it exactly like I fucking see it. Because anytime you're talking about believing someone who's blackout drunk and recanting and all this other stuff and actually was being physically violent, that's a real bad sign. That means the investigation was never appropriate and never proper. And this shit was just complete horseshit all the way around. And I'm pissed for him. Being a not even up and coming. I mean, he was in 2 major movies this year that opened up over 100 million, or definitely grossed well over 100 million, with Ant-Man, Quantumania, and Creed 3. Like, his career had never been fucking hotter, and he was on the cover of magazines posing like Do Flamingo. We were all talking about it on here.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was, I don't know. He's always been like this. He's always been bad. Simply based on absolutely fucking nothing.
So I will give you a very, very recent example. Justin Roiland. Justin Roiland, who was fired and canceled from everything, all of a sudden, charges are dropped. At the time, like a week before his trial was begin, charges are all dropped. He's like not even acquitted. He's basically innocent of everything. He's absolved, and he still no one said nothing. It went out with the whimper. No apologies. I mean, he's still technically fired from all these institutions. I haven't heard of him coming back to anything, but still, there's no like, oh, we fucked up, or hey, he deserves, this and that. He could be a shitty person, but he didn't do anything illegal. So
yeah, I think that's a really good point, and I tried to make that point a few months ago. Again, you you shouldn't be able to just drop false bullshit on some famous dude. You just shouldn't. And if it's horseshit,
famous or not.
Yeah, famous or not. You're absolutely right. Famous or not. And then most importantly, if you are the one that's doing the physical abusing, I don't care how big that guy is. I don't care if he's the size of Shaq or has a black belt. I don't give a fuck about any of that. If you're assaulting him, then you need to face the fucking consequences, just like any of us would. If we, backhanded somebody.
Blue said if she's over 200 pounds, then their acceptance can be
made.
Those are his words, not mine.
Hey, if she's attacking me, I gotta use what I can. Stop her.
Oh, now you throw in there if she's attacking you. It's all defensive now. All right, Blue.
It's always been self-defense.
That is a very old joke from the podcast. So if y'all don't understand that joke, we're not actually saying like that. Don't try to cancel us.
But also, shout out to him. I hope he gets a chance to be Kang in Loki 2 and Avatar, or not Avatar, Avengers, and all of that other stuff.
Well, we also kind of saw this with a guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp.
We did.
Except he sued and he got his
comeuppance. Yeah, so I would say he's probably the only one where people came back to his defense and was clapping him on the back and be like, "You deserve, all your flowers," type thing. He's the only one out of all of them I've seen that for. Everyone else has just been, once they've been proven wrong, once they've been innocent, like it's been silent.
Well, you know what the thing that gets me the fucking most? It's not even that. It's when this gets completely reversed, like actually the man was the victim, and then you'll still have, well, I don't know, and I don't know if I believe that, and look at him, he can't be. Look, if you are against victim, or victim shaming, and uh, blaming the victim and all that, it has to be even, regardless of the fucking sex of that person. If you're a victim of domestic violence and abuse, you're a fucking victim of domestic violence and abuse, and that's terrible.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
period.
yes, but I would like to, make it a little bit fair for people that are listening to this, might be getting kind of uncomfortable. Is that, yeah, it's true. I mean, like, if in the specific scenarios where if a woman is doing this to a man, obviously things need to be taken seriously. But at the same time, you have like some of these dudes that sexually assault and rape women, like tens or not 20, 30, 40, and getting away with it for a long time. So I think when it comes to like the scales of like, which one is doing like the most amount of harm, like it's pretty heavily on like men doing some fucked up shit. And I don't think there's no argument there.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I only have an issue with, it's also not impossible
No, no, yeah, yeah.
for it to for a man to be abused, and it's not wrong for him to be the victim. And I think that from the standpoint of public believing, it should be as close to even as possible in terms of, if he's saying that this happened,
right, it should be. It's just the likelihood is just way far down. It's like saying if a mass shooter was like an Asian female. You know what I mean? Like that'd be pretty fucking rare, right? So in these cases where, yes, and we know that obviously the amount of cases where a man has been assaulted by a woman is probably way higher than the statistic would, because most dudes would like not, I've been hit by plenty of chicks before,
Yeah.
whether it's playing or whatever, but it's like, am I gonna first let me just give the obvious thing. If you're a guy or a girl listening to this, and like, why is it a big deal? The reason why it's not a big deal to me is because I know at the end of the day, I could fuck up the vast majority of people, of women especially. People in general, I could fuck up. All right, because I'm a martial artist. But even back then, when I wasn't, like, I'm still way more physically capable than any, woman in the past that might have hit me or something like that, or done something inappropriate. I have the physical advantage over them, and that's like indisputable. But the problem is, like, if you're a man doing something like that, most men are going to have the physical advantage over a woman, over most, well, not every single one of them.
Not every single one.
But that's the thing that I think when it comes to that kind of argument, especially when it comes to like these red pill dudes, that they don't want to like admit that it's like, a woman fucking around and hitting you is not as serious as like a dude that is way bigger than you hitting you. Because one is like playing around, and the other one is like, my life is in danger,
Completely agreed. And at the same time, I think what's very egregious to this Jonathan Majors case, it's physical and then lying about that part. I would say, that gets into some really ugly territory.
Well, and it seriously harmed the guy's career. I mean, he's basically, they had to cancel how many fucking things now?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's like, he has serious like financial damages done to him.
He has, and there's some stuff that was paused because of what had happened. Because there's a movie that's supposed to drop in the fall that's already generating like Golden Globes, like Oscar buzz, that where he's in it, and they were not going to release it because of these. They were going to push it back like a whole year, and he would miss potential candidacy for an Oscar. So shit like that is affecting his work. I mean, he already filmed it. I'm pretty sure he already got paid for it. If he's like producer on it, he would lose revenue as well.
It's all bad.
But I think, but what's the one? The one Stitch and Prodigy you were talking about? The Zion Williamson. Is that him? The guy who's dating the porn star. She outright threatened to ruin his career by
So
releasing sex tapes.
yeah, so let me be really clear on this one, and this is another very hypocritical thing that the public has done. So in general, and we've talked about it on this cast, everybody, and it's illegal. Everybody has been very vocal about being against revenge porn, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It's
Okay.
illegal. It's actually illegal in a lot in like a bunch of states, not all the states, but a bunch of
Fully,
states.
fully in support of that. That's great. Absolutely, it is illegal. This woman is threatening serious ass revenge porn against this basketball player, Zion Williams. And nobody fucking takes it seriously. And so I don't like that. That is exactly what she's threatening publicly over and over and over again. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if he did that, it wouldn't be so ha ha he, joke, joke, joke. It wouldn't be that way.
Oh,
So, I mean, let's call it what it is. Like,
but the fact that she knows that regardless of her saying so, it can still ruin him.
well, that's it. That's it.
Not. I'm sorry. Let me take the back. Not ruin him, but it can seriously impact his
That's
professional career.
explicitly what she wants. She wants him to get traded. She's wants she's embarrassed. She's gone on these tirades. She got kicked off of Twitter for doing literally too much against him. And obviously, not everybody knows him. He was a famous college athlete coming out of Duke, and then he's played in the league for about 3 or 4 years. He's had a checkered career for the New Orleans Pelicans. But I mean, he's still a name. He's still a semi-star in the NBA. All I know is if you saying that revenge porn is bad and evil and awful and all of that, which I agree with, then why aren't you ever saying anything about what Mariah Mills, this porn star, is threatening against Zion? Because you don't give a shit when it's a guy. Period. Like, let's just cut all the bullshit.
And also an NBA player because they have I guess a reputation or some kind of
Yeah.
some kind of
stereotype.
yeah, but not just that, like a public kind of image that people have had, and it's not just him. There's also the Lana Rhodes kind of fiasco where she was saying she has her son from a NBA player, and she won't out his name, but she's been dropping all kinds of hints about who the father could be.
Yeah,
And
but I think that's different from I'm going to release sex tapes if you don't blah
so
blah blah.
so she didn't say that per se, but she did threaten to um out some of the stuff that he has said, I guess, to her via text or whatnot. But she hasn't done it yet. So
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Some of these celebrities obviously are up to no good. I'm not defending all of them, but some of these adult actresses aren't cool. Like period. Not all of them are nice and awesome and cool and all of that other stuff.
I mean, that's
Some of
like
them can be vindictive and downright fucking evil and threaten some illegal shit.
that's everybody. I mean, like, there's gonna be pieces of shit in every walk of life.
Yeah,
So
but you know, I just found that absolutely egregious. Nobody even said anything about, hey, she's threatening revenge porn. Nobody even gave a shit. So
I didn't even know that was happening. Like that's how like crazy that shit is.
I don't watch basketball, so
we shall see. All right, y'all want to wrap it on up?
Do you want
I
to
thought
talk
we were
about
talking
that?
porn. Ain't wrapping up shit.
ah,
Well, there's that thing I posted in the chat. You guys want to talk about that real
What is
quick?
that?
So there's rumors that Dwayne the Rock Johnson might play Kratos in
here we
the
go.
Kratos in the Amazon God of War TV series, I guess.
I
for one
literally said on this podcast, do not cast Dwayne the Rock Johnson, because he's just gonna Dwayne the Rock Johnson that fucking role, and that's not fucking Kratos. Fuck all that. I will not watch the show if The Rock. I mean, unless he takes some fucking acting classes, and he's on like, I don't know, Dave Bautista level acting now. I'm not watching a Dwayne The Rock Johnson fucking Kratos. And y'all know I love God of War, but fuck all that shit.
The really tough part about it is I don't know where you're going to find a Greek actor with a black ass voice. I don't know where you're going to find that. Like,
you just get a black dude to play the role, and like, you know
yeah.
what? And every time
Just
somebody
paint
says,
him white.
"Oh, why do you get somebody black?" I'm just gonna point to Gods of Egypt. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, there's a famous NBA player named Giannis that's a Nigerian Greek basketball player.
Yeah.
And like he has a Greek accent and all of that shit. Like that's the only example I've ever seen of that shit. But if it works, you know, it works. But for those who don't know, every fucking God of War game has had a black actor play the voice of Kratos. Obviously, he's a Spartan Greek, you know, warrior god. So this is going to be some interesting fucking casting.
He even had a black body, like even beyond his voice, like the body of like the two latest God of War games. It was God damn it, I just blanked on his fucking name. He passed away.
They did
sad.
they did mode cap.
Shad. God damn it, Shad Gaspari. I think that's his name.
Yep.
Or Shad Gaspar. Maybe it's Shad Gaspar.
Yeah. That's a hard combination.
Shad Gaspard. Yeah, that's his name. That's the guy. He was a WWE wrestler, and he passed away saving his son from drowning.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, that's the body
He's
of
a
Kratos.
hero.
It was like here in the Bay Area, right? Or like local, like here in California that happened.
Yeah, he died in Venice Beach.
Yeah. Hey, one other dimension to Kratos that's going to be really interesting. He's got to be in whiteface the whole time.
Yep, and no one's gonna say shit about it. And technically, it's gray face. You know, it's acting.
Yeah, but I mean, still. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I still will say, for the record, even though the last two, Ragnarok and God of War 2018, were set in the Norse mythology, and I did enjoy the fuck out of those games, I don't necessarily agree with starting there. I will say that for the fucking record.
Yeah.
I would love to see more Greece because you get to see what makes him the Ghost of Sparta, what makes him Kratos, what makes him, you know, he's culturally a Greek Spartan.
Well, okay, but let's elaborate on this a little bit. So, and let's be fair also to the show that's coming out. The backstory of Kratos was basically just told in kind of, by modern standards, poorly done cutscenes of like what he did, like in the war, how he begged for power, how he accidentally killed his family.
Yeah.
They're just cutscenes. So I think if they just do like they can cutscene up into, you know, he finds himself in Norse mythology. I think they could do that. And I hopefully it'll be okay, but I understand your concern, man.
Yeah, my only thing, you're right about the cutscenes telling his story, but also the gameplay of like 5 games or whatever the fuck it was also showed him fighting the Greek gods and how that affected him, and you know, going through the Pantheon and all of that other stuff. Like that I think that those were, yes, they're dated. Yes, they're from the early to mid aughts and late aughts and whatnot. But I think it really set the tone for who this character is. And I'm not shitting on Norse. I think that was great. It was a great reboot and change of Kratos' story. I just would prefer, maybe that's a season 2 or 3. At least if I was showrunner. But I'm not.
But I, honestly, I think that right now is kind of a perfect timing of like having like because people are super into like dads right now for some reason. I guess more into than they were before, like dads. And I think it'd be way easier for them to tell the story of like this guy who's trying to be a good dad to his kid that has like a really shady backstory. It's almost like, you know, Joel. So
that's true.
You know, I think that's gonna. I think they saw that, and it's gonna really hit home for a lot of people. Just like I think the redemption arc in this day and age is way more important than the rage arc for like a lot of people. So that's why I think it would probably hit. But I can understand why they would want to do it this way.
Yeah. We will see. I mean, there's not even a trailer yet, so we'll see. And I want to be really clear. I'm not shitting on it sight unseen. I'm just stating my pre-trailer preference, but we'll see. All right, let's wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
Old Ninja, what you got populating this week? God damn it!
So I'm back into town. I got to hang out with Prodigy. Unfortunately, I missed out on hanging out with Prodigy and Cronus, but
Wait, I thought you saw Prodigy.
I did.
Oh,
I said
okay.
I missed out on an opportunity to see both of you
together.
Oh, together. Okay, got
Yeah.
you.
I was a little confused about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to hang out all together.
I think there was
But,
comments
I
in there
mean,
somewhere we didn't see.
Yeah. But hopefully, there is next month for Comic Con. We'll see. I'm still debating about it. I know I'm on a time limit. We'll see. But I had a good time this weekend. Um, so I'm kind of taking it a little easy. Um, Indiana Jones is out.
Ooh.
It's out, I guess, tomorrow night, which is Thursday for us. I'm probably just gonna go and see like a to early release because I used to watch movies the day they dropped, and I haven't had the chance in the last few years. So tomorrow will be probably the first time in a while. I've seen the last few Indiana Jones in the theater. Like I saw Temple of Doom in the theater. It was probably the first one I think, and then from then on, so I'm probably just gonna go, and I'm hoping that it will wash away the mediocrity of the Flash for me. Um, I'm hoping that at least it's gonna be a good time. If it's mid, I will be probably sorely disappointed. But I'm hoping it's at least better than the Flash. Um, Probably going to go to the beach on Friday because it's supposed to be pretty skyrocketing heat on Friday. So we'll see. I might take a day and then return to work later on this week, and then playing some more Modern Warfare. Maybe try to even get some of this raid done. Maybe tomorrow night. I'm probably going to try to get Street Fighter 6 later on, and if I do, I will definitely stream out like my character process. Unfortunately, probably it won't be a Fuda character. You have to do that on your own.
You don't know that. I got AI to help me.
Yeah, I'm not making a Fuda character. You can make one on your own. But yeah, that's pretty much kind of it. Just gaming, going out to the movies. Oh, I might go to the lake because I live near a lake, so I may sit by the lake for a little bit too. So we'll see.
There you go. Your boy Blue, what you got?
Shout out to my boy Arthur, or AK Mr. Nesperos. His birthday's tomorrow, so I'm actually going to meet up with them. Him and my friend Ben and his wife. They're going to take a ferry from San Francisco over to Sausalito.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the cookie. Yeah. And yeah, they're gonna have lunch over there. You know, do a little wine tasting, and then come back over on the ferry, and then have dinner up in the city. But I'm just gonna meet up with them for lunch because I have to be back home to pick up my little guy. Definitely was gonna go to the Alameda County Fair this weekend, but it's gonna be crazy hot. I'm like, fuck that noise. Forget about that.
Oh, and there's no fucking shade at that fucking fair.
No, there is no goddamn shade. But might wait until next weekend. But I heard damn, the prices have been jacked up at that fair. Like a turkey leg is $24.
Yeah,
I think
damn.
I think last year was
turkey. What are you talking about?
$12, $13 or something for a turkey leg. So
$24 for the big turkey leg, the Fred Flintstone one.
Yeah, the medieval style turkey leg. Yeah, the Fred Flintstone leg. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yep. And I heard a lot of the food and stuff price have been jacked up. So
I'm gonna smuggle some peanut butter and jelly in my ass and bring it on in, you know.
Basically,
fucking bad.
I saw there's a updated video about the Booty Warrior. By the way.
Oh yeah,
I
saw that.
It's pretty fucked up.
I saw that.
He's angry at Aaron McGruger. What?
He sure is angry.
He's angry at Aaron McGruger because he was just like he did a Rick James. He was like, "How you gonna misrepresent me like that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did rape a whole lot of men in prison."
Pretty much.
I like how you said that. I never gave them the option. Like there was no we could do this either way or the hard way. It was the hard way.
I like how he has this dishonesty where he doesn't realize, hey, I'm a rapist, a serial rapist. You know what I mean? Like nobody cares about your opinion on shit when you've been raping people.
I also don't think he realizes that he's actually gay.
Yeah.
Like
When it comes
I
down
don't-
to it,
that never
That
clicked
was
in his
just
mind.
prison. That was just
It was
prison.
prison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Doesn't count
Comanche and Shades in fucking Luke Cage. They were like, that was prison, bro. You
Yeah,
had to do what you had to do.
or
And,
even,
I mean,
or even with like Striping Vipers, the
Oh
Netflix
my
or Black
god.
Mirror one. That's not
Yeah.
gay. We're different
well,
characters.
and then, let me just be clear because that could be like heard wrong. It's okay to be gay. Like I have no
Oh,
problem
yeah.
with
Oh,
gay
yeah.
people at all. But
It's
I
okay
think
to
that
be
to
gay, but-
him, like if you were to
Yeah.
call him gay, he would probably get so angry that he'd rape you.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Probably.
just,
Yes.
just saying.
You-
I mean, yeah,
It's-
it's 100%
it's not-
okay to be gay. But
It's not the gay.
It's not okay to deny yourself.
Yeah.
It's not the gay part that people have a problem with, dude.
Yeah.
We have the problem with you being a
It's the
rapist.
consent part. Yeah,
Mhm.
100% the consent part.
100%. Like the easy way or the hard way. Apparently, it's always the hard way.
Yeah, and the other thing is,
'cause
did he
he's always
go
hard.
did he go to jail for raping and then do more raping in jail,
That's definitely
or
why he
was he?
stayed in jail. Probably one of the reasons. I don't know why he went to
Yeah.
jail, but
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, I don't know either. You can, I mean, you can look it up. You can find out why he got convicted.
No,
I know he
actually-
got convicted, got out, and then went back.
No. Here's the better question. The best question is, how in the entire fuck is he released?
Yeah, he
Like-
got released.
No,
He
fuck
got
that
released.
noise.
Went back and
So hold on. So
he
this
went-
is
he got released
this
and
is
they
the,
took him back.
we might need to do a whole podcast about the prison industrial complex
Yeah.
of like how like we're expecting like how does somebody get released from jail? This is like such a weird thing to think about when you're supposed to be rehabilitated in jail. Like somebody like Fleece Johnson should not go to jail and then come out worse. Somebody like
Yeah.
Fleece Johnson should be rehabilitated to realize that hey, maybe I just like fucking dudes and maybe I shouldn't be raping them. Maybe I'm just gay and we'll go from there. But like for him being in prison, obviously degraded this dude's life. For him he literally said getting fucking somebody in the ass is more important than water. Fucking water. His literal words. Like, how can somebody like that you throw this guy in a hole full of dudes that he can like seems like just freely rape and like nobody's stopping him from doing that. And nobody's
Yeah.
helping him figure out like what is going on with him. And
but
that's an issue.
But I'll say this: yes, you're right. However, there are some motherfucking monsters that cannot be rehabilitated and need to stay in jail.
Yeah, but it's like in America, it's easy to say like who those. It's easy to say who's the monster when you throw them all in the same fucking hole. Like,
Yeah,
the monsters with like people that maybe weren't monsters, and they all have to deal with the fucking monsters.
I believe in reform. I believe in all of that stuff for nonviolent, folks and good behavior. I'm all for it. Him specifically, that booty warrior? Nah, don't release him. Hide your wife, hide your kids.
I'm just in a perfect world, that dude could have been rehabilitated, and he probably wouldn't have had to like. He wouldn't have had to think that, raping somebody is more important than actually getting a life substance, like water.
But then we wouldn't have the Boondocks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right, you got me.
well, what's
That's all bad.
what's so crazy about it is this all started with a fucking HBO special. That's what it all came
Yes.
down to. Like they went to the prison, met this guy Fleece, and he just had to like this is. Was he the one that even like that Chris Rock even talked about in stand up? He talked about the whole jelly thing, or was that
That was
this
from
after
something.
that?
That was something
Okay.
else
Something
that started
else,
the
yeah.
whole. First, I put the peanut butter in my ass, then the jelly, and you're gonna call it lunch.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
but
in Oz too, wasn't it? Wasn't
Yeah,
it? Like,
yeah.
yeah, it was in Oz too.
But
That
the
was a
warrior,
fucking
he was
show.
like, I want you to know that you're eating ass. He eating ass. It's like, what the hell? But yeah, I don't know. This guy's an interesting character, and like prison system might have failed him, but then also like he might be like hating himself because he's like maybe he's gay. So I don't know. It's
I mean, with the amount of people that he fucked, he has to be gay.
Hey,
I mean,
Dahmer was all bad too. He was going to gay clubs, spiking people, and obviously killing them, but raping them as well.
Was
so
he literally eating ass?
he was
Oh,
eating
yeah.
all the ass.
All right.
and the dark meat too. I still
Yeah.
haven't seen that Netflix special.
Dude,
I'm not
I'm
gonna
going to
watch it.
tell you, there's something wrong with me for even getting to episode 8 because
Yeah.
it's hard. to watch, but it's really well written too. Like, actually, you know what? ChatGPT couldn't have done this shit. Like, I'm telling you right now, even with all the stories on fucking Dahmer out there, it's just too fucking wild. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So what
I
else is
digress.
I got going on? I'm still doing the Coursera stuff with data analyst stuff, and it's what's really cool with this site is that so like after you do a course, there's these things called guided projects where basically you do a you do a screen by screen. So there's like a teacher on the screen like walking you through things, and you're able to do it on yourself on a virtual machine. So like if there's any issues that you have, like you can kind of like pause the video and just compare your work to the teacher's work. And like I feel like I've learned so much just from just doing that, especially when it comes to like SQL and Tableau, which is some of the tools that I'm using. But yeah, it's just something that's really cool. I'm really glad that like California has like a I don't know, like a special program that you can actually get Coursera for free. So like just check with your local library to see if maybe your library is part of that program. But it looks like it's it's not any California libraries. There's certain libraries that fall under the California branch, like Castro Valley Library isn't on this list, but Hayward Library is. But San Leandro Library is not. So it's like you gotta like look and see. And I actually told a friend of mine about it, and they're down in LA, and they are able to find the program, so they're actually taking the courses as well. But there's actually some really cool stuff on Coursera. So yeah, definitely check that out if you can. If you want to like build up your skills, learn some new stuff. Like it's there and it's really helpful. Like even for project managing, like that's another like thing I've done. They have like how to create a Gantt chart, how to build out a project plan. Like all that stuff is there, so it helps you like build on top of the stuff that you learn. And like a lot of like online like site like LinkedIn Learning, they don't do stuff like that. Like it's just you watch a video of somebody telling you how to do things, but you don't really get a chance to actually do it yourself, which I think is really cool. And they have like Python. They have like you can learn how to like create apps and stuff like that, and they have like guides to help you like kind of build like your own little app to start off with. So I mean it's really cool, and like the guides are only like less than 2 hours. Even that, like some of them I've been able to do like within an hour, but it's just really cool that you kind of get that hands on. What's cool too is that you can take the work that you do, throw it into your portfolio, and you can show it to like a potential like employers. Yeah, so they can see what kind of work you've done. So it's pretty cool.
You should definitely have more than one spot. You should have a portfolio as well as a GitHub. It sounds weird. It sounds kind of weird, or like maybe archaic, but you should have a GitHub like portal for your stuff. So and like link it onto your resume, so that way you can link right to your shit. And you can because in GitHub they can see your project and run it, or in some cases download the exe and then run it as well. Or they can like some of them you can just see the code. They can copy and paste the code, or like it'll compile the code too. So at least some of them, and then you can see the program run. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's all what I'm doing. Trying to find a job.
Nice. Cronus, what you got?
I have to say that today is the 5th year anniversary for one of my favorite episodes ever. It was Wipegate.
Oh shit!
Literally 5 years ago today was Wipegate. That shit threw a monkey wrench in my whole belief in fucking science. I'm just saying. I was amazed, and yeah, I didn't get it. We will. I will actually do a clip of that and drop it tomorrow. If I already did make a clip of it, but it was an amazing conversation.
Yeah, there should be. I thought you made a clip like literally the day after it dropped.
I will drop it again because
I'm pretty sure there's a clip somewhere.
I think he also made a clip for one of the Eggplants Awards.
Yeah, well, I used to make clips like a lot, and then I stopped doing it because shit happened. But I'll start making more clips again, and yeah, I definitely want to start it with that fucking Wipegate one because
that was wild.
That shit was wild. Like literally, there was like a record scratch of like, what are we talking about right now? Like, wait a minute, you wipe your butt? How? Like, I didn't know there was different ways to wipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
I didn't know.
That was definitely a conversation that exploded. There's people that came on the chat and the chat went fucking apeshit.
It did.
Well, even when I threw the poll up on like Twitter and Facebook, like people were like, "Wait, what?" Like
there's different ways.
Yeah, it was damn near split, like between standing and sitting.
I don't know who raised some of y'all. That was wild. You know what I mean?
And this is the weird thing about the conversation, is that whatever side you're on, you think the exact same as the opposite side. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yep.
Why do you do it like this? Except for that one guy that shits in like his hand. It was remember that shit was on like he was on a radio show, and like he was talking like it was a dude. This is a black dude and a black woman. They were talking to each other about shit for some reason, and he talks about how he shits in his hand, catches it, and then drops it in the water.
Oh my god.
And then like the woman was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's why you wash your hands." And I was just like, "Wait,
What?
why would you catch? That's what the fucking water's for. Like, why would you catch it?" And he was just like, he was totally confused. I'm like, "This is not how you do things." It's like, no, no, that's not how you do things. Like ever, like, you don't catch shit in your hands on purpose. The fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, chimpanzees catch it and throw it.
But we're goddamn human beings, bro.
No, they pick it up. Yeah.
We're human
No, they
beings.
pick it up and throw that shit.
Chimpanzees also don't have toilets. Just saying.
Look, all I know is when it comes to toilets and all that shit, everybody didn't sell the bidets right to me. Y'all should have told me very clearly, hey, it won't water anally rape you. That's all you had to say. If you had said that, I would have bought a bidet years ago.
Do you have
know
one
what
now?
I mean?
Do you have one now?
No, but I
fucking
not
get
yet.
it. Everybody listen to get a goddamn bidet. All right, 'cause
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to me? Like everybody that comes to my house and like, especially if you're a woman, because you're gonna sit down in my toilet.
Maybe
They're just like, yeah, maybe. I mean, I could be wrong here.
Yeah, you could be wrong.
But they're
She
just
could
like,
be standing.
they're immediately amazed. Like, you have a warm toilet seat. It's like, yes, my toilet seat is always fucking warm. Once them cheeks hit that fucking toilet seat, it warms up. And then as you're doing your business, it's automatically taking the fucking odor away because it's automatic. There's a little fan in that shit, deodorizes, and then when you're done with your business, you press a button and it washes your ass or your vagina. Or not your vagina, I guess it'd be your fucking vulva. I want to be specific here, but everything gets washed. And then if you don't want to wipe with toilet paper, you don't have to. Press a button, it dries your ass. So
What's crazy is that like you become kind of snotty after you use a bidet, because especially like if I'm traveling and I go to sit on it, like especially when I'm at a hotel and I go sit down on the toilet and that shit's fucking ice cold.
It's offensive to me now. It's offensive. I'm like, why is this fucking toilet seat cold?
What? This is like White Cape Part 2. This is fucking wild.
I thought it was going to be a super soaker stream of hot ass fucking water going in your ass.
I mean,
and I was like, I'm not going anywhere near them
You
things.
can adjust it if you want it to go in your ass. You can, it depends on what kind of bidet you have, but you can adjust like the pressure and like where it's hitting you, like all that shit. It's all adjustable now. And this is the biggest thing for me. Like Indians said it best a long time ago. If somebody took a shit and put it on your arm, what would you do? Would you just take a piece of paper and just like if you took toilet paper and just wiped it off? Would you just call it a day? No, you'd probably wash it, right? So why don't you wash your ass?
Yeah, man. Bidets are awesome.
That's all I got. Wash your ass.
Damn, it's a hard act to follow. I'm gonna be playing. I'm still gonna finish up some Diablo. I'm already level 40 and just kind of doing some really good cleanup. And then I'm gonna try to jump online Thursday, Friday, some night, and see if I can create some kind of way Interspecies Reviewers Season 2, because I just need it in my life, or maybe a movie of it. Help me, Chat GPT. You're my only hope.
Oh my fucking goodness!
All right, take us out,
what you're gonna get is you're gonna get hentai with too many fucking fingers.
Yeah,
well, actually, maybe that's the point. Maybe you want too many fingers in your hentai.
I do. So here's the thing. I say it all the time. I was cool with everything Interspecies Reviewers, and then they fucking released them slime girls, and I was like, God damn, I didn't know I needed this.
Actually,
but
I want to change the name of the podcast from I got AI to help me to hentai with too many fingers.
Damn.
The name that keeps on giving. Take us out, old ninja, goddammit.
Oh my goodness. You just experienced Black and Black Times Infinity.
Infinity.
podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere and everywhere with Beats and BTIs,
AI.
BTHASBTI. If you're not watching us live, we're live every Wednesday, 8:30 Pacific ish time, on YouTube. You can check us out our official website, benheadproductions.com/BTI. You can email us at btnbti@gmail.com. Let us know if you want to join our Discord. Discord on there. It's invite only, obviously. And then, yeah, anywhere you listen to podcasts, that includes Pandora, Stitcher, Player FM, all that good shit. We're all open.
You forgot to mention that the Discord is Food of Friday friendly.
No.
Yeah, you haven't. I don't think you ever posted anything food related.
Thank God.
Oh,
Thank
This
God
has
for
to
that.
change on Fridays.
No.
I have in a whole bunch of other Discords.
I'm just saying, if you're coming for the food of Friday, it doesn't exist because probably just not posting.
Yeah, it doesn't get. It's not fucking real.
He's still mad because Facebook banned him, and then he realized that
I left
Zuck could whip
them.
his ass.
I left them.
No,
Get it
they
back. I left
kicked
them.
you out. They kicked you out. You say right. They kicked you out.
They need me. That's
Say
why
her
Zuck
name
won't,
right.
That's why Zuck won't fight fucking Elon.
Zuck will fight you, and he'll win.
Yeah,
he would win by like a country mile.
Damn.
He's a favorite in Vegas.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna take the guy that actually knows somewhat how to fight. He's always a white belt over a guy that was literally born with gemstones in his pockets that were dug up from the ground by black people, and he's 50 years
Ain't
old.
nobody complain about that.
So, with no combat experience. Anyway, that's all I got. Fuck Elon Musk.